Hi everyone, my name is Ierie and this is Reminisce with This, where I take a little time out of my day to reminisce with you on all aspects of my life, all of my interests, all of the people that have intertwined with my journey in life. And today is going to be a new topic as it is Sunday, and today for Sunday it is Silver Lining Sunday. And I am super excited about this because this journey has been so amazing, the life that I've been able to live today. And for Sundays, being Silver Lining Sunday, I want to focus on that even in the darkest times, there's something positive to be reminiscing on. And with today's topic, I have really thought about how I want to go about this and who I want to talk about. And the first person that came to mind is someone that made such a huge impact in my life and still continues to make a huge impact in my life today. Grief is a fickle thing. It comes and goes as it pleases. But, it's best for me not to sit and dwell in those feelings for too long of negative aspects and to try and reframe them and be able to sit in them, feel them, and work through them. And with that, I really owe a lot of this journey of this many chances I feel like I've had at life simply because this person has made such an impact that I wanted to change because I didn't want to throw this life away where I was at several years ago. I am in recovery. I work a program. I have worked with licensed professionals for the mental health capacity, and I am so grateful because this particular person, even though they're not physically here anymore, they still influence a lot of the positive aspects from many different journeys of life that I have lived and been able to experience with them, and where I feel that I still experience with them even if they aren't here. And so I'm happy to share that today is about one of the most important people that has ever made a grand, adventure of my life and presence. She kind of just made waves in so many ways that I couldn't be more grateful for. So I'm going to take you back to where we first met and when we first met. Her name is Emma, and we met while we were in cosmetology school back in Sacramento, California, and it was crazy. I remember how this all played out. It was the first day, I want to say, of schooling, or within that first week, but I want to say it was the first day. They had us do these about me sheets, and then they posted them on the doors of our classroom where the other students and stuff like that could read them and get to know who we were. And I remember the day being so busy that I didn't even think twice about that about me. And by the time it was ready to end our day and I was getting ready to clock out, there was this blonde bombshell girl running up to me, and I had my headphones in, and I just feel like this hand touch, me, and I'm like, what the heck is that? And she's like, you're from Utah? And I'm over here thinking, how does she know this? Does she know someone I know? Like, what? And she's like, I'm from Utah, because she saw the look on my face where I was very confused. And she's like, I'm from Utah. And, it was just the start of an amazing friendship. I was like, oh yeah, I'm from Utah. And from there, we blossomed into such a wonderful friendship. And throughout that entire year of cosmetology school, we had so many wonderful adventures where, we did crazy things as, I was 18 getting ready to be 19, and she was a year older than me. So we were out here living our best lives, having some of the most amazing adventures. And I can't lie when I said that that was probably one of the best times of my life, simply because of the people that I met during that time and how much love and appreciation that I had gotten while I was there. The love for the people, the love that they gave back, but the appreciation for those presence of those specific people in my life, where a lot of them are still in my life today. And I really am in gratitude for that. And we really did have such an amazing time spent together. There was never a dull moment. There were so many times in my apartment and her apartment where we just had adventure after adventure. And we went on and did all kinds of crazy stuff together. Some of my favorite moments that we did get to share is that we would set some time aside every so often to do like a date night, where we would do, like, we'd go shopping, we would go and get dinner, and then we'd go see a movie. And it was not like a relationship kind of a thing. It was more of like a brother sister, a platonic just date. So I don't want that to be misconstrued of me expressing that it was a date night, but it was two best friends just enjoying each other's time, getting all dressed up, and just really enjoying the presence of one another. And I really am so blessed that I was able to experience this journey with her and be able to have those moments that even after cosmetology school ended for both of us and we went on our way, we still stayed in contact throughout all of those years, and we touched base here and there where we were able to physically see each other. There was a time that I did move back to Utah for a little bit in part of my recovery journey, one of the many times that I tried getting into the programs, well, not really the programs, but into recovery. And I had moved back home, and it was the first time that I had saw my dad in 10 years, and it was just an overall overwhelming experience. But she, as who she was, she also was living in Utah, and she took the time to come and visit me. And then I also went and stayed some time with her. She was a couple hours away from where I was living, but we still were able to spend those times together and make more memories. And it was such a great time during that duration. And I'm super glad that I took those moments to be present in and to just enjoy, no matter how crazy the time was with that experience. There was a lot of emotions that I was going through or feeling and things like that, I have a deeper appreciation for her during that time, because I may have not been mentally fully present, but she never let me not enjoy those moments. Her laughter was so contagious, and honestly, when it came to her emotions, because of just who she was as a person, when she laughed, you laughed. When you cried, when she cried, you cried, because you just wanted to emulate the very emotions and person that she was, because she was such a pure being, and being around her was really one of the most best things that you could possibly do. In a way, she gives that like happy puppy energy and all that other stuff. She was just such a beautiful person. She had such a deep love for people and animals, and just who she was really showed who she was on the surface was who she was on inside. And there was never something that she was faking about being a kind, caring person. She really always did her best to care for people, and it showed time and time again. There were so many times that I was going through this recovery journey, and so many ups and downs of in and out of recovery, and she was always the biggest supporter. She was always the first person when I was, faltering or whatever, to message me, still saying how proud she was. She was giving me calls, Snapchats, and the being able to reflect on a lot of our messages and stuff like that. It was something that I really do appreciate, because there were so many wonderful times shared, and her openness to just be there for people, even if it may not always been easy for her. But I'm not going to try and dive into too much of the negative here, just the positives, because that's why I'm starting this journey, is to reminisce on the positive aspects that I have had along this journey. And because of her, I'm able to live this life that I live today. I am 3 years fully sober, but I had started this journey 7 years ago. I gave up all my main vices 7 years ago, but I gave up plant medicine 3 years ago, and her passing happened 7 years ago last month, and that was the start of it. That was where I was like, you know what? I need to live my life in a healthier way. I need to do something better than what I'm doing right now. And at the time and still now, I feel that I need to continue living my life for not just myself, but her and those that I've lost along the way. Because that's what she would want for me. She would want me to stay on this journey. She would want me to stay on this path and to live the life that she always knew that I deserved, and just to be happy. That's all she ever wanted for me, was to experience true happiness. And vice versa. That's all I ever wanted for her. And, so if I can do that for myself, maybe I'm doing that for her. There's so many amazing people that I've gotten to come to meet because of her. A lot of her friends and people that were in her life that I have now become friends with, I may not talk to every day or, quite often, but I am now present enough where I get to take a step back and be a part of their blossoming journeys with their families growing, and just overall who they are as people. I get to sit from sometimes the sidelines, sometimes just there watching all of this beautiful life that is continuing, and how much of an impact she has made on their lives, and just overall the love and appreciation that everybody has had for her. And there's not a moment that none of us go without a day of thinking about her. And again, I owe a lot of this journey of my second chance to her, because honestly, if it wasn't for her loss, I wouldn't have had that wake-up call, and I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I wouldn't probably have this collection of different sorts of things, because, I was so quick to just throw everything away. And that's, again, why I'm starting this journey of reminiscing, because there are so many people that are intertwined into all of the things that are my hobbies and my interests. And I really would like to take that time to show appreciation and reminisce, about these people, because times can be so hard these days, where it's hard to be able to reminisce on the good times, especially if they happened so long ago. It's hard to be able to be present in those moments when life continues and it keeps going and it keeps moving, and there are new challenges that come about, that being able to reflect and reminisce on things in a positive way, rather than the woulda, shoulda, couldas. It's more so, this journey is, I would love to reminisce on the positives, and just to showcase that, of course, even in those darkest times, there's always something that you can take positively out of it. And if it wasn't for Emma, I don't know where I would have started this journey, or when I would have started this journey, if I would have started this journey. And so now I get to sit here and talk about all of the wonderful people that have made these impacts, and those that I have gotten into these collections, and the hobbies that I share, and the things that I get to talk to about the people that are watching, or my family and friends, and just show my love and, the things that bring me joy. And when, there's always that, I feel like that that expression when you show joy and love, there's going to be the people in your life that are going to experience that same with you, just by watching your growth and who you are as a person. And I am a firm believer that as I've worked this program and gotten on this journey, there has been a lot of that support, and I am so grateful, even from the people that aren't here anymore. I believe that they are also here along this way, and that's all the people that have passed since, that have been wanting this journey to be prevalent and something to be, that they saw that was a possibility that I may have not at the time. And again, I'm so grateful. I get to enjoy the simplicities in life simply because of just the people that were here. I try to do my best when I'm walking home or walking to work or whatever. If I see flowers along the way, I'm going to stop and smell them. If I'm going to be walking home and I see the sunrise, I'm going to take a moment to sit and appreciate it. But there's so many things that I used to take for granted, and I can say that I try not to do anymore. I'm not always perfect. I don't claim to be perfect by any means, but what I do try to do is emulate the type of person that I would like to be and see myself being every single day. And I try to put in that work to be better than who I was yesterday in today's shoes, and that's the best that I could do. And when it comes to this particular person, Emma's placement in my life, I reflect a lot on just our journeys together and how much of an encouraging person she was, and how she was always one of the people in my corner rooting me on for this sobriety journey, because I was not always the best person, but I have worked to be a better person for the people that are in my life and to make those amends, to better myself. And having that constant support throughout the years, I can reminisce on all of that and constantly be reminded of how loved I've been throughout these years. And that's always a good reminder for when times do get rough, is that there's such a huge amount of love that I've been able to experience and still get to experience with so many of the people that tie into these hobbies. And it brings me so much joy that I get to share this today with so many people and share these experiences where I'm not trying to focus on any of those negative journeys or experiences. It is to experience and express the positives, because again, life can be so challenging. It can be so stressful. We can, not always see the light at the end of the tunnel. But if we take a little moment just to reminisce on simpler times from childhood and, little things like collectibles, toys, trading cards, movies, music, people, places, and pets, I think that, it brings a little bit more joy. It has been bringing a lot more joy for me throughout this week. So I'm happy to sit here and showcase this every week and just be able to talk about the people that have made these dreams of mine come true, because collecting this type of stuff has always been a dream, and I never thought I would get to this point, and I really am in such a mad appreciation for those that are in my life, and those that have made those impacts. Now, Emma has and will always be one of the greatest gifts that I have ever been able to experience in my life. She is one person that, in physical form and non-physical form, she is something that my memories are those that I would say are my collectibles, right? we have so many memories that we have shared together that I have collected them like figures and collectibles, trading cards, movies, CDs, and so forth. And that is something that I love so much, that it's not always a physical thing that I collect, but those memories made with the people that are a part of this journey that I live today. And I am so happy and excited to share these stories and my place in life, and just hopefully that I get to bring a little joy to those that may be in tough times. And you know, I really do get to appreciate life at a more grandeur placement, because I'm reminiscing on things that even I may have forgotten about. And just by sitting here and diving back into it, I'm really taking in for a deeper connection of a lot of these memories, and not in a way rewiring my brain to forget about the negatives, because that's always going to be there, but paint the positives for what they are. And if there are negatives tied into that, do my best to paint those in a light that doesn't overwhelm this as a negative setting, because I never want to have that be pertinent to what this is. Because again, life is already so challenging. Why bring anything more up with that? So I really want to thank you guys for sitting here and listening to me talk about Emma and just the reasoning behind so much of this, because again, Emma has made such a huge impact. She's been like a sister to me and continues to be a sister to me through all of these years. And we may not be able to grow old physically together, but doesn't mean she's not going to be watching me grow old and watching me grow to the person that I know and she knew that I could be every single day. And I am so grateful and happy that I get to experience this life where I was born in a life that she existed, and being able to have those moments shared together. So with that, I want to say again, thank you for sitting with me and reminiscing on this moment of my time. And know that no matter how hard things may be, there's always something positive to look into. And it's sometimes hard to find those positives, but if you haven't heard it today, I would love to let you know that you are loved, cherished, and cared about. And hopefully that even just that might be the little positive that you needed to hear for today. And that I really hope that if you are going through struggles, that there is some sense of healing and guidance to bring you to a place of joy, and just take a moment to enjoy the simplicities that life has to offer, because life doesn't always have to be so serious, no matter how serious it can get. And I really do appreciate you all for listening today, and I just want to say that I love you guys. Again, I know I'm being a little redundant here, but I really want to emphasize that you are so very loved. And if I've never met you, or those that have been watching that are my friends and my family, I want to say thank you so much for making an impact on my life in so many ways, that I'm able to sit here and relive this journey of so much joy and so much love. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day, because I do have to finish getting ready for work. But I want to say again, thank you for your time, and thank you for reminiscing with me today. I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. Until tomorrow, I'll talk to you later. Peace.